Hello and welcome to Gentlemen of Whiskey. This is our Bourbon Blinds with Friends series. So we are in the midst of summer. So our summer series, we want to do some fun stuff where we have some friends on, and we're going to introduce our guest here in a second. If you are already a part of either the 717 Bourbon Society or PA Bourbon Squad Facebook groups. These will not be anybody new to you. They are the Bourbon Brothers Whiskey Nerds, and we will talk about them in a second. First, we're going to get to some comments. First comment, Chris Jenkins. Cheers, everybody. Tumbler glass. And then we have the Blacklingers in the house. Cheers. Cheers to you guys as well. We are going to have a fun night. We're going to be doing something a little bit different that we are not always doing as a part of our live streams. And that is we are doing a super chat giveaway tonight for we're actually going to do 2 different giveaways, and let me go get the stuff for both of those real quick. Some days you're super prepared, and other days you're not super prepared, and that's today for me. All right, so first thing that you can win is a set of the samples that I'm giving to Troy and Trent tonight. I'm not telling you what they are. They will be revealed as we go. The second thing that we'll be giving away is a merch set from Gentleman Whiskey. So your choice of hat color from our website. And a Glencairn glass. And 2 exclusive stickers that I don't actually have in hand yet. But they are this logo here. The Summer Vibes. That is something I'll give you a closer look at in a second. But they are up on our website. If you want to support us, there's Patreon link. There is joining memberships on YouTube here. And there is the ability to go to our merch store and buy stuff. We're currently running a promo where if you spend $50 in the merch shop, you will get a free gift of some sort. You obviously need to be 21 plus to get this free gift, but it will ship out with your package. Wonder what it could be. So, that being said, go check out our merch store. We have new designs. We have entirely new shirts. Super fun stuff. Okay, so tonight we've got a blind series. So Bourbon Blinds with Friends is, we have friends. I give them a bourbon blind, and we sit down and we talk about it. So tonight we've got Troy and Trent from the Bourbon Brothers Whiskey Nerds. I think they're a little bit newer. I think they just hit the 100 mark on their subs here on YouTube. So if you like what they're putting out, if you like talking to them, in the description of this video is the link to their page. If you can go and give them a sub, I'm sure they would appreciate it, and I would appreciate it because they are my friends, and we're going to have a blind tasting together. So without any further ado, Troy and Trent. Troy and Trent, how you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great, John. Thanks for having us.
John. Appreciate you having us on.
2-3 minutes. Introduce us to your channel.
Well, I mean, shall we do the intro?
My name's Trent, and I'm a chemist. This is my brother, Troy. He's merely a biologist. And we're the Bourbon Brother Whiskey Nerds. Yeah, we are brothers from southeastern Pennsylvania, like Gentleman John here, a true gentleman of whiskey. We thank John for having us on. And it's tough to turn off the science, as we like to say.
Yeah. We cannot turn off the nerd.
And since we're scientists, we use that realm and some other things to explore whiskey. But when we're tasting whiskey, we're doing it like everybody else does, nosing it, tasting it, talking about the mouthfeel and the finish and the palate. And we bring all that together and try to entertain people and give them some good advice on what to buy, what not to buy, where to spend their bourbon shopper dollars.
So, you guys mentioned the science already, right? What part of your science background, how has that led into how you taste whiskey, how you experience whiskey?
Well, I think the best example I can just, John, is it just gives us an appreciation for what goes into making whiskey, because it is science. I mean, just charring the barrel in and of itself is all a scientific reaction. It's called the Maillard reaction. It's the same thing that when you char a steak on the grill or when you have barbecue, it imparts flavor and compounds to the whiskey. And the difference between non-chill filtration and chill filtration.
Yeah.
We have an appreciation and understanding of that and what it does and how it changes or potentially changes the flavor of the whiskey.
I'm a scientist for a living, and so I have an appreciation for that. I've always had an appreciation for something I cannot do, right? Like, I'm not a musician, but I have appreciation for those who make beautiful music. I'm not a dancer, but I have appreciation for those who are just exceptionally skilled in those areas. Or painting, or whatever it is, accounting, right? Whatever it might be. Here, it's science, and so I understand it a little better than perhaps some people because of my education. And still, it only enhances the appreciation I have for these very small differences to make such a difference, and how regimented and what control some of the master distillers have over the process.
Yeah.
Those molecules and atoms, trust me, we know they don't always cooperate. And for people to manipulate them in the way they did with different yeasts and mash bills and things like that to impart different flavors and alcohol, whether the barrel's on the top or the bottom floor, in the middle, or if they rotate or don't rotate barrels, all of that goes in to this very complicated process that produces this thing that we all enjoy. I think, Troy, it's the same answer with different words.
Yeah, I think Buffalo Trace scientists, John, and there are scientists at Buffalo Trace, have identified have found, I should say, 300 compounds in bourbon and identified 200 of them. And there are probably more.
Right.
Like, it's just incredible what goes into all of those flavors.
Yeah, absolutely. I know recently I've been kind of getting into the science behind it, and like what flavor compounds create, the cherry flavor, what flavor compounds create a creme brulee flavor, and that's the Maillard reaction that you referred to earlier. And like how all of that, those are the actual flavorings for the foods that we eat and we taste, and how that is now a part of your whiskey, and your brain is interpreting it from like the lens of bourbon, and how cool that is. So I'm always fascinated by the science behind bourbon and how people choose to taste their whiskey. But it's almost 6:10, and you guys have a blind in front of you. So I'm assuming you have that
very excited.
Very excited.
I'm never happier than when I have a blind in front of me.
Right. And then I actually have exactly the same thing. So I'm going to drink along with you guys. I'm going to bring my GoPro real quick because I need to show you the super cool thing that my friend Sherry designed for me. They are gold covers. They're like a hard plastic. They're super great. If I can convince her at some point to let me put those in my merch store, that'd be fantastic. But look at the cover on this. On number 1 here. It is fantastic. So, we're gonna give about 5 minutes. You guys do your process. You talk to me about what you're experiencing, what you're tasting. Tell the viewers what you think it is.
96 proof, Troy.
Yep, 96 proof.
I think I'm getting some proof.
I feel like I'm getting some proof. There is a sweet note in here that I can't quite place yet. It might be stone fruit, apricot, maybe, peach.
I think some of those are pretty good. It reads as sort of a fruity, sweeter offering, at least right now. Not a lot of baking spice. I'm not picking up a lot of herbal notes.
Of rye or herbal notes either.
Maybe a little bit more you get deeper in there. There is some oak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think it's uber young.
It doesn't smell long there.
And John's right. It's got some darkness to it.
I think I agree with stone fruits. I think I agree with like a dark, maybe like a plum kind of thing going on.
Yep.
It's got a little bit of oak, a little bit of leather.
I don't think it's super old, and
boy,
Noize is really.
I really like it.
Noize is quite nicely.
Seems nice and balanced. All right, I'm going in.
For the people at home, all that I've told Troy and Trent is that they're getting a blind tasting. On the sample bottles, I gave them the proofs, and I told them it was craft.
Mother of pearl, that's phenomenal.
Boy, she's a spicy girl on the
Much more.
much more spicy
Woo.
than I was expecting off the palate.
Oh, I'm already having a good time. That's
Oh
a
my
great
goodness.
first line pour.
You know, for 96 proof, there is a punch of flavor on this, and it
Really nice
we
hug.
like the punch of flavor. Yeah.
I love, and it's a spicy punch
It
of
is
flavor.
spicy. Yeah.
She's a spicy girl.
Maybe
I
this
want
is
more
older
of
than
it.
I thought. I thought it might be, younger, but this.
I think. See, I'm thinking it might be older than we're giving it credit for.
Is this a closet rye that he slipped in here?
I don't know that it reads
I
as a
don't know.
rye
It
to
doesn't
me.
read as a rye, but
Well, you got 3 minutes, and I'll give you your first hint.
Well, one thing that I can tell you is that I really like it. All right. Fruity on the nose, more spicy on the palate.
Mm-hmm.
there is that burst of sweetness on the front of the palate. I'm getting some astringency.
Yeah, I think it's oaky.
Spice was tamed down on the second sip more so than the first. It drinks really nice. It's very approachable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's very well balanced. For a 96 proof whiskey, it's got a heck of a nice finish.
This is older than we initially thought, I'm suspecting.
I'm trying to think of crafty things that we might not have had.
I think it's really good that you guys have now finished the sample bottle. You went back for some more.
We got a tiny bit left, right? But hey, you give us whiskey, we're gonna drink it. This is what we do here. Right? This is the danger of sending Troy and Trent to the liquor store.
Which
the wives make this mistake occasionally,
I know
right?
they do.
They're like, go get us a bottle of wine. Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Sure. Then
Wine,
5 bottles of whiskey. Right?
bourbon.
Yeah.
So there's something on the nose that I don't know if you picked up before, and it's a little bit almost bready. Like it's got like a bread type note to it. Yeasty.
I could see
A
that.
little yeast, baby. I could see that. Maybe like a sourdough almost.
Yeah.
It drinks really nice.
I really like it.
I'm
I don't
enjoying
pretend to know what it is, but I sort of want some.
Maybe a little bit of barrel char coming through.
That comes with oak, right?
Yeah.
Like it comes with
Kind
the
of goes
oak
hand in
note.
hand with the oak. It drinks really nice.
There's something to be said, I think, for like a charred experience. Like you get different tastes off of a level 2 char than you do a level 5 char. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
Precisely.
So
Yeah.
I think it's
We were
definitely got
actually-
some like dark charred oak notes. More like it's maybe a little bit heavier char.
Like a level 3 or a level 4 or even on up there.
Yeah. I found it interesting. We were talking once on the channel that some people think that the higher the char actually detracts from flavor. It acts as like a carbon filter, which is very nerdy scientific. And so there's a lot of complicated science that goes into the char, right?
Yeah.
One of our favorites is Cooper's Craft. That's chiseled and charred, right? So they chisel the barrels where they char.
Mm-hmm.
More surface area.
More surface area for the whiskey to get to. Again, all very scientific.
It drinks pretty good.
I don't think it's a rye. I think it's a bourbon.
I think it's a bourbon.
If it's a rye, it's a very, very low
It's
rye.
a baby rye.
Right.
As it doesn't read baby rye either. It reads.
I don't. There's a little bit of a funk. A
There
little bit of barrel funk.
There is the funk, but it's not overpowering. John mentioned that bread note. I'm sticking to that sourdough because I really do get that.
Well, and I think that might be the funk, right? Like
Could very
sourdough,
well
the
be,
funk,
yeah.
right? Could read the same note.
My friend Sherry just popped in. Bourbon Besties, if you are not aware.
Hey, Sherry
And-
from Bourbon Squad.
Yeah.
Right.
She made these,
Sherry was
so I'm
the
using
100
those.
subscriber to our channel. So thanks for joining, Sherry. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
Sherry
subscribe.
rocks.
Blocklinger, or the Blocklingers, said that will keep the bugs out when you're outside. Absolutely will. And yes, this is the brand new hats that I just designed. They've got. I kind of have this
Looks like
mascot
tropical.
called the Santa Glen, and Santa Glen goes to the beach. So that's my summer design. It is 6:16. Would you like your first hint?
I will take
I will
it.
gladly take a hint.
All right, so state of distillation is Ohio.
Oh, is this a Middle West product?
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Or a High Bank.
Could be a High Bank. What's that other distillery
Whiskey
out
War?
of Whiskey War? War of Whiskey? Could be.
Yeah.
There's another one out of Cleveland. I can't remember the name. The first
Isn't
thing
that
when
the
you say
Cleveland
Ohio
distillery?
is Middle West. So
Yeah.
That's the first thing I think of. I really don't know if I consider them craft though, because they're getting pretty big. But
I think they are still considered to be craft. I think
is
there's
there
like,
a defined definition there?
yeah, so it's like I'm pretty sure it's either 500,000 or a million proof gallons in a year, and they cannot be owned by any conglomerate. Like they have to either be self-owned or private equity owned.
So it's totally private enterprise, not owned by like Diageo.
If Campari buys you, you're no longer a craft distiller.
Or yeah, Di Serrano in the case of Sagamore.
Right. What's the Beam Suntory?
Right.
Beam Suntory. Right. Yep.
Ohio. Well, High Bank Whiskey War does not sound awful as a guess. Like really,
no, it doesn't.
Because that they do a lot with Boo Rise. If I'm thinking,
no, this is a Boo Rye. That would be awesome.
Really interesting. Because we got a little rye note,
we did hit a
bready
lot of
note,
spice
bourbon note.
Although it didn't read.
It didn't read herbal.
It didn't read.
It didn't even read spicy. Tell the palate.
Minty. The spice was all on the back end.
Here's a fun game. Is it Bry or Boo Rye?
Is it? Say that again, John.
Is it Bry or Boo Rye?
I say Boo Rye.
I always say Boo Rye.
Yeah, I say Boo Rye. But that's.
I don't know.
I've always said it's Bry because bourbon and rye. I don't know.
I see what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. He makes a fair point.
It does make a fair point.
This is why what is he, an English major?
Yeah,
This is a scientist thing. So
I'm actually completely uncollege, so I'm a match here.
But you are a gentleman of
but you're a gentleman of
whiskey. But he's a gentleman of whiskey. So yes. So yeah.
I feel like that could be like a club or something. Gentlemen of whiskey, you know.
Well, there should be a club.
There should be a club. Gentlemen
There's
of whiskey.
not.
Maybe
Very
exclusive. Yeah,
right.
Extremely.
Right now, just you and me and John.
So we actually started as a tasting group. So there is technically a gentleman and whiskey tasting group that then spawned this channel.
Can we be part of that? Is that possible?
Sure.
I guess conceivably we kind of are.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to meet me up and we do 4 Fridays every month, you guys want to come out with some like-minded people?
Come drink.
You let me know.
Twist our arm out. Stop.
Yes, that sounds terrible. I'll take 10. Yes.
If you're new to the brotherly banter, this is pretty much what we.
This is standard fare, right?
All day long.
Yeah.
There is very little differentiation between the two of us.
Our
info, personality. There's very little differentiation between the three of us when you throw my father in there. Although that's our father, but it's this banter goes on and on. And the Bourbon Sisters, as we affectionately call them, roll their eyes at us. And tolerate us.
They know how it is.
Yeah.
So but I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think of an
Boo Rye is my best guess yet. That's the best. I'm probably not going to come up with anything better than that.
I'll take another hint.
Your second hint here. And then real quick, I just want to go through 2 or 3 comments. Bourbon Season House, Chris Big Stick is here. He says it's Bourbon, which Sherry also says. Make sure to react, not comment. And then tonight we are actually doing a super chat. So if you super chat $5, you'll be entered to win a merch pack and everything that a 2-ounce sample of everything that Troy and Trent are trying tonight. There's some pretty good whiskey in here, if I do say so myself. So
this dynamite is
really good.
And then real quickly, if you are a member of the channel or if you are a part of our Patreon, you automatically get an entrance into winning this tonight. So we've already got 6 names on the wheel. So your second hint is there's a portion of the mash bill of this that is an uncommon grain.
Oh, is it like an oat?
Like an oat or a rice? Well, there was a Louisiana distillery that made a rice bourbon. This oat, there was someone who did oat.
Still Austin.
Still Austin did oat, but
in
that's
whiskey.
Texas.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to go uncommon grain. So rice comes to mind. Oat comes to mind.
Sorghum, right? Like
That's a wheat, a subspecies of wheat. How uncommon are we talking, John?
well, I read once that in order to be a whiskey, you have to have a cereal grain.
Oh,
Yeah,
Now,
so
I'm
it's a
not sure
cereal
if that's
grain.
actually accurate.
what's that?
It is a cereal grain. It is.
It is a cereal.
It
So,
is
rice.
not one of, I would say, the big four. So it's not corn, it's not rye, it's not
Right,
wheat.
right.
Not corn, it's not wheat, it's not rye, it's not malt, it's not barley. Well, oat is the most logical.
Or
It's
rice.
not-
I
or
like the
rice.
rice idea. I'm going to lean towards oat. This is oated. Yeah, I need to buy me some.
I need oated bourbon just
I need
because it's
oated
fun
bourbon.
to say.
Well, and then you can have it for breakfast.
I
It's
know.
like oatmeal, right? Like the.
I had cereal and oat bourbon. Yes,
Yes.
I'm good.
Did you say oatmeal? Yes, that's what I said. Yes.
Exactly what I
Perhaps
said.
you didn't hear me. Yeah.
So before we reveal to the people, in the most recent episode, the rice bourbon you were talking about is JT Mellick.
Yep.
And that was in Blind Bottles kit that they sent me for this month. And it was really interesting, actually.
Was it out of Louisiana, John? I feel like it was out of Louisiana.
Yeah.
Or
JT
I
Mellick
thought
is out of
so.
Louisiana. Yep.
I remember seeing that. Still Austin did an ode.
Or an oated.
Oated,
Like, I don't think
yeah.
it was 100%
I know,
oat. Right, yeah. But wouldn't be able to be a bourbon then.
Which might impart some of those more sourdoughy, yeasty
Mouthfeel, right? I feel like it would make a mouthfeel
It might
difference,
impart
too.
some of those notes.
I
That's really
don't
interesting.
I don't think oat disqualifies it from being a bourbon because there's one.
I don't think it does.
I don't think it does.
Nope,
Not to
it
my
wouldn't.
knowledge.
Nope, it wouldn't.
Okay.
I can't imagine it would. Yeah.
So yeah, I have a Pennsylvania 5 grain that has like I think it's like 8% oat or something like that, and that's actually really good.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, I imagined it is. Oh, the Still Austin offering that had oat in it got rave reviews.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it might have been a distillery exclusive. We went down
Yeah.
there and whatever, but yeah, whatever.
I think that
Alright.
was a Nancy Rose Fraley.
Well, and again, that woman's a genius. So
Yes. She's worked with a lot.
I feel like she works with them with some frequency.
She works with Still Austin. She's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she definitely has.
Incredible.
Did you guys have the Tangier last year? A lot of people were talking about that being like really, really good.
No, I did not get my hands on one. We did not find one. I mean, it was billed as like a cigar.
It was,
Yeah.
Like
it
a
was.
cigar whiskey.
I heard it was really quite good and
Yeah.
unique, which
Dynamite.
we probably would have liked.
Right,
I mean,
just dynamite, really good. So yeah, it was universally well acclaimed. So, did you find one, John, or no?
No. So they had it on seal box, and I was flip-flopping back and forth between it because I feel like every time I drop like 150, 200 on seal box, it's like it's either the best whiskey I've ever had, or I don't know why I spent more than $10 on this.
kind of like spinning a roulette.
It's
right,
yeah.
it.
And I mean, the first time I did it was 13th Colony Double Oaked, and I think that is definitely in the top 5 of everything that I have currently, if not the best whiskey I own. So
13th Colony makes good whiskey.
they do.
Even their flagship,
it's really good.
It's really
Yep.
good. I had a bottle.
Yeah, that one. I think it died, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it's been gone for a long time.
That's very sad. Yeah.
I mourned it,
Yes.
and then opened something else.
Right.
This is my life.
Didn't mourn it too long, but
Do you have any guesses? I mean, it's not necessarily the point of this, right? Like we're here to enjoy a blind, have fun. We're teasing
whatever
for the
it is,
people out
I'm
there.
gonna need to get myself a bottle. That's what I think. Yeah. Again, my best guess is some sort of boo rye, but the oat makes it probably unlikely. I know High Bank and Middle West in Ohio. I'm sure there are more than that.
There's a couple of
And I don't know them off the
There's a
top of my
couple
head.
out of Cleveland, and
There's another one in Columbus that I
there's
don't
another-
know.
Yeah,
I remember seeing it on the Mash and Drum.
we were actually in Ohio. Our sister was in Ohio, so we were down not that
I'm
long.
going to give you one final hint, and I'm going to give everybody in the comments a chance to comment. So throw it out there. I will say you have mentioned the name of this distillery already.
Oh, was it War of
Whiskey War?
High Bank?
High Bank.
War of Whiskey.
Well, Whiskey War.
Middle West.
They only have the
Middle West is a 4-grain, but it doesn't have a unique grain to it. They're 4-grain, but they're
I think
the
it's
common
just
4-grain.
I think it's just a typical 4-grain.
It could be High Bank, like you said,
or High West or whatever it's
or
called.
Middle West. It's not Middle West.
No, I don't feel
unless it's something that I'm not familiar with, and
right.
You know that, and it could be. But
all right.
No,
I got nothing. I'll go with what I said. If I came close, I'll feel happy.
All right. Final answers. This is Middle West Pumpernickel, dark pumpernickel, straight rye whiskey.
Is it the 100 proof?
It is 96 proof.
96. So it's the cask. It's not the dark pumpernickel, right?
It is the dark pumpernickel, yes.
It's the dark.
The dark pumpernickel, right. Oh. I've never had this. We've only had the cask strength.
So his dark pumpernickel was the mysterious grain, which we didn't pick up on.
Yep.
It said Middle West right off the bat when he said Ohio. I'll give myself credit for that.
Right, exactly.
We absolutely love the cask strength. The dark pumpernickel cask strength is off the chain.
There was a period of time where it was the best rye whiskey I'd ever had.
Okay. Yeah.
Middle West. Interesting.
I mean, he's got the flagship 96 proof product, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. It was a really interesting pour. Yeah. Really good, full-bodied mouthfeel and everything. Mm-hmm. Really enjoyed it. But folks who are listening, if you have not gotten their cask strength version of this, go and get some. Yeah. I think it's like $75.
I don't even know if it's that much.
It just blows.
I don't know where they hide that proof.
It clocks in at like 125. Yeah. They're in the mid 120s. It's like drinking 101 proof.
And that extra proof just takes that pumpernickel and just
it's bananas
crazy
good.
What it does.
So yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's good.
If you don't have one, Saubles in Maryland has them on the shelf. I think it's like $40.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think there might be a pilgrimage to Saubles coming up here.
We talked about next week sometime.
Yeah, I think next week's coming up.
Well, go on Friday.
Letter B coming in.
Fresh Crack Friday.
Letter B coming in at 103 for number 2 here, Troy. Cinnamon.
Is this weeded?
That's my first guess, is that it's a weeder.
Because I'm getting those baking
I'm getting
spice
cinnamon notes. If I smell cinnamon, I guess weeder. Oh, I really like it. I think it's got a grainy note to it.
Yeah, it could be a little young. Perhaps.
It's a grainy note.
It's not
you like smell the wheat. Now, I get what you're saying.
It smells like honey wheat bread.
It does.
Yeah.
Honey wheat bread. Honey wheat bread is such a good note. I'm complimenting myself.
With cinnamon drizzle.
With like cinnamon sugar on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, well, boy, that's... You
I
have
get
this
a
for
little bit
breakfast, too.
I get a little honeysuckle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a floral note.
Yeah, there is a floral note. Yep.
Boy, I like the smell of this a lot, too. Very herbal, almost floral, almost Coopery-ish, right?
Yeah. And then it's got like...
Really enjoying it.
The more you get in there, the more it comes out with like a fruit juice sweetness, like almost apple juice.
Almost like tropical, fruit punchiness to it. You're right.
I'm thinking, I'm getting like a... Tropical's a good note. I'm getting like a pineapple, almost.
Okay.
Pineapple juice.
Mango.
Maybe. Can you juice a mango? I imagine you could. Right?
Can. Wouldn't see why not.
My entire life is a lie if you can't.
Right. Well, if you juiced a mango and a pineapple, well, and again, this gets back to the science of whiskey, because we can't turn it off.
Right.
One thing I promise you is that there is no actual mango or pineapple in it. It's against the rules, right? How do they get those notes? It's so cool. I'm sticking with the cinnamon note. I think
the baking spice is prevalent, although it reads sweet.
It does.
Yeah,
but it's not it's not traditional sweetness. I'm not getting vanilla or brown
No, it's
sugar.
more tropical.
It's like a smoothie sweetness almost.
It's like it's tropical is the best note. Like it's tropical is the best note. Okay.
All right,
Cheers to
I'm going.
JL. Thanks for stopping by. If you guys aren't subbing, the Bourbon Brothers Whiskey Nerds, the link is in the description. Go give them a sub.
Boy, the nose matches the palate.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is even better than I remember it being.
Finish.
This is maniacal.
Holy crap.
This is so good. First of all, the nose matches the palate a little bit.
Yeah,
That's the first
absolutely.
thing I said to Troy. Is that all those tropical notes that I got on the palate?
It's like a cinnamon red hot on the finish.
Oh, and it's so flippin' good. I'm sticking with Weeder. That I'll be happy to be wrong, right? I'm sticking with Weeded. Maybe a 4-grain, because there's got to be rye in there, right? Maybe not. I don't know. The finish and Kentucky Hug combo on this is just dynamite. Just phenomenal.
I like that at the front of the palate, it starts off really sweet, and
Right.
then mid-palate it transitions. I'm getting some oaky astringency, so
Yeah.
it doesn't read as crazy young to me.
But it was almost grainy on the nose.
It had that.
Yeah.
That
I'm still getting a grainy note.
Yeah.
Like
I can see what you're putting out. There's a note in here on the nose stand I can't identify. I'm going back to that tropical. Mango.
It's
is
almost
the
like
best
it reminds me of mead.
Oh,
like
refined wine. Oh,
Yeah,
like
honey.
a honey beer, right?
Yep. Honey.
Mead is a phenomenal note. That's what the sweetness is. It's a honey sweetness.
It is a honey sweetness. Honeysuckle, which John mentioned.
Yeah.
It's
a honey sweetness.
Chris Big Stick says it's Fireball.
Oh my god, it could be.
Could be ASW.
It's got an ASW feel to it.
It has that ASW, like, there's a funk on ASW that I
is
get.
grainy. And it's grainy. That is a hell of a guess. Even if that's wrong, that's a great
wrong.
guess.
It's a good guess. Because ASW is doing some good stuff, like a flagship ASW. What was that flagship ASW? Right
The Fiddler?
The Fiddler, yes.
I don't know if that was a weeder. Though,
I don't know if it was
I'm
weeder.
happy to be wrong. But
if I pulled ASW out and it's
that you know what?
I have earned my keep as a whiskey tuber.
I will just bow to you. I love the finish and the fact that it doesn't completely match. The tropical fruit cinnamon combo was not one I thought I would see coming and enjoy, and I do. And it doesn't read as young or craft or grainy on the palate. But I like the note on the nose. Maybe I'm reading it as something else.
Well, some of that spice come down, but except there comes the finish. And
now it's so good.
Would you like your first hint?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm ready.
All right. I'll give you a choice on hint.
He's giving us.
Do you want the type of whiskey or do you want the state of distillation?
Oh, I don't know that I care. You pick. State of distillation worked last time. We'll take state of distillation.
State of distillation for 400 Alex. Nah, I'm just.
Yeah, state of distillation is Kentucky.
Oh, it's Kentucky.
Oh, God. Boy, that opens up. Can you imagine how many craft distilleries there are in the Cape State of Kentucky?
That doesn't help. Well, there goes my ASW.
There could be 1,000, right? Jeez. Now, wait, that state of distillation. Could it be sourced?
Could be sourced from Kentucky, so ASW is still on the table.
Could be Bardstown.
Could be Bardstown, Lux Row, which would be Bardstown as well. It could be anybody. Heaven Hill.
Well,
I don't think it reaches a Heaven Hill.
No.
Although I do like their weededs.
Yeah,
so
like
yeah, Michael says he hopes the next one is Malort. I would not do that to these fine gentlemen here. But besties agree. They think that it should be Malort. Chris said he thinks it's Fireball because you said
Fireball.
It is
decidedly not Fireball.
I feel like you're wrong.
I haven't touched Fireball in about 25 years since Well, we won't talk about that, but that's
Fireball is not whiskey.
College Fireball, bad idea. Just don't do it.
I think Fireball got in trouble for calling themselves whiskey. Wasn't there a lawsuit? I'm sure I read about that.
I think it's because of they have two separate products. They have a whiskey based and a malt beverage based. They were selling the malt beverage one without like properly identifying it as a malt beverage.
As malt beverage.
Right. So not beer, but they could get away with selling it in like grocery stores and stuff because it was only like 8% ABV or something like that.
Speaking of college, I used to buy handles of Old Crow for like $9.99. Yes, in Virginia.
Jim Beam should bring back Old Crow and make it look better.
Trent and I have often talked that if Jim Beam wanted to please the whiskey community at large, they could rebrand and relaunch Old Crow
as a good whiskey. I wonder if cask strength Old Crow is any good.
I don't know.
Like, just release it in cask strength. Let us taste it. I mean, it can't be that expensive. You can get a handle for $10. How much could the cask strength be? Meanwhile, this whiskey's just dynamite again.
State of distillation is Kentucky.
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm gonna I thought
Bardstown Origin series, maybe.
Well, it can't be.
No, it's 103. Is it Is that one?
You want your second hint?
Weeded.
It's not the weeded. No, because the weeded is fantastic. If you haven't had it, you need to get the Bardstown Origin weeded because it's phenomenally good.
Yep.
But
that's not the proof point.
But I don't think this is it.
I will take my second.
I'm sticking for now with sourced from Kentucky. This is an NDP. I'll take my second hint. I'm ready.
All right, your second hint is that this is a rye.
It is a rye. Interesting, which explains somewhat the baking spice notes that we got, the cinnamon. So it's a rye.
Yep.
It's a
Kentucky rye.
Mm-hmm.
Does not. Did he slip a Pikesville in there? No, that's not the right proof point.
Not the right
proof.
I did watch your Pikesville video, and I do disagree with you on that.
That's all right.
That's okay. I welcome the disagreement.
Pikesville is a bourbon drinker's rye.
It is.
It's not a drinker's rye.
That I would totally agree with.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. When I want rye, I want rye.
Yeah.
So usually when
that's probably one of our biases as whiskey reviewers is baby ryes. They just don't do well for us.
Yeah. My favorite one is probably one of the weirdest ones to like. Is I love the Old Overhold.
Oh yeah,
that's one of my favorite.
That's a good one to like.
It's like the old granddad of ryes.
The Knob Creek is about 55%.
It's really good. It's a really good rye.
This is a rye distilled in Kentucky. It could be Bardstown Origin Series rye.
It could be. I wonder if the proof on that is 103.
I can't remember. Some of them, like the proof on the weeded is 106. So
yeah, I heard it was like 105, 106. Yeah,
they could do a 106.
That could make sense.
That could make sense.
That's as good a guess as we're getting, probably. And I don't know what their next bill is. I mean, there's no rule that says because it's Kentucky rye.
It's got to be. I mean, it has to be at least 51%, but there's no rule. No.
Right. It could be 70%, still be a Kentucky rye.
I think it drinks a little too sweet to be too up there in rye.
Maybe. I'm not even sure.
But the baking spice notes were in it.
And it is really good. It's really good.
I enjoy it.
It's really good.
Very nice.
The cinnamon tropical fruit.
That explains the finish and the black pepper off that
It does have a rye finish.
It does have a rye finish.
It's a peppery finish. Yep. Tag burn it. Yeah, the best guess we're getting is that it is the Bardstown.
But that's not craft, though, so that doesn't
make sense.
Yeah. So it can't be that.
Let's get to a couple comments real quick. We got Big House. We've got Jeff from Hogan Whiskey Friends. They were nice enough to have me on their show recently. So, hello, Jeff. We are really close to overtime here. So, we're gonna let the people at home guess, and we're going to give you one final hint. And that hint is it is from a historically significant distillery.
James E. Pepper.
Do they source out to a craft distillery?
Well, it would be historically. I mean, James E. Pepper could be the craft distillery, though.
You think they're still craft?
I don't know.
It would really impress me if
James
this
E.
were their
Pepper at
flagship.
103.
I don't think they're
they did
flagship.
a bottled in bond. A historically significant distillery.
Yes.
Oh, is it Castle and Key?
Castle and Key.
It could be a Castle and Key rye, because that's built into the old E.H. Taylor.
E.H. Taylor distillery, yes.
All right, I have a new favorite guess. That's my new favorite guess, and I'll bet they would qualify as.
They would qualify as
craft.
Yeah.
So.
Chris Big Stick says it's new riff? Question mark.
New riff. I mean,
the only new that's a good guess.
That's a good guess. The only new riff we've had is their malted rye, which is phenomenal, but it is 100 proof because it's bottled in bond.
I think most of their ryes are bottled in bonds. They ever release a 103?
I don't remember, unless it's a barrel strength.
That seems sort of low for a barrel.
Seems sort of low for barrel strength. They're not known to have a low entry proof, and I wouldn't consider. I mean, a historic Kentucky distillery.
It's not Michter's.
Is it Michter's?
There's no way.
There's
no
way. Well, that would explain the low entry proof.
They do have one of the lowest.
They do have one of the lowest entry proofs
in the whole industry.
Could be. Is it a Michter's Toasted? Maybe.
All right, we got to keep moving. So
I'm ready.
We're gonna take your guesses, official guesses.
Make us look like
now to muddy the water. No, that's not the point here. The point is to get you to drink good whiskey with friends, and that's what we're doing.
I'm very happy. I'm ready.
All right, so this is. Go on to the GoPro. Restoration Rye. This is the very first batch. It is batch number 1. It is, I believe, 8 years aged.
That's a good rye.
That's a very good rye.
That's available in Pennsylvania. It's a shelfer.
I mean, this one's not. Because this one is batch 1. But.
Right.
Yeah?
Interesting.
Yeah, alive.
Very interesting.
It's a really good one.
Is it Castle and Key distilled, John? Is
yes.
That who does
so I think if I remember correctly, Castle and Key knew that they were starting out. So this was distilled, I believe, by I think it was Four Roses distilled. Huh. So they distilled it like years in advance because they were trying to redo the.
Four Roses
talked about floral.
Four Roses made a rye, and I wasn't notified. I feel hurt, right?
I'm kind of.
I mean, they contract distill stuff all the time that you don't know about. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
All right, number 3.
Sherry says, "Wow, I hate that. I literally put it into my cocktail maker as a mixer." But to be fair, I mean, when you start a new product, right, you want to make it a banger, right? Like the internet's talking about.
Yes.
Everybody's talking about Jefferson's, like the new Jefferson's cast strength. When you release a new product, you want it to be absolutely fantastic, and I think that's what they did with this Restoration Rye. But I mean, I bought this for like $30.
Oh my god!
Well, it hit the shelves and nobody knew what it was, right? Like it was the only thing people knew about it was. I mean, when Castle and Key Bourbon came out, like their batch 1. Then it had a following, right? Like people were like, "Oh, Castle and Key."
Yeah. Just a friendly reminder that we are running a giveaway tonight for Glens and hats and everything that Troy and Trent are drinking tonight, which it seems like they like to sample. So that is a $5 super chat gets you entered, or if you are part of our Patreon or our joining on our YouTube as a member, that gets you a free entry. And if you are not already subscribed to our guests, Troy and Trent from the Bourbon Brothers Whiskey Nerds, the link is in the description. Go and do that because they have fantastic content.
Yes, please do that. Go watch John and Gentlemen in Whiskey. Watch Bourbon Brother Whiskey Nerd.
Yeah.
You get your gentlemanliness and your nerdiness all in one easy YouTube package. This is hitting all the nose hairs. All the little
All the cilia.
olfactory.
The cilia olfactory.
My olfactory cilia? Is that? I am
Well,
sort
the
of.
cilia are the hairs, but the
I'm
olfactory is.
I'm an olfactory cilia. I'm fine with that.
Well, we've taken a jump
we
from
went and jumped.
103 to 119. Almost
119.8.
120. Yeah.
Yep. And I get it on the nose.
This is a rye. There's mint in here.
You know what I got? I'm just gonna say it. Licorice.
Well, that you can get on some ryes too. Yeah.
I'm getting a lot, and I mean a lot of rye spice. A lot of rye
Get
spice.
mint.
It's very herbal. It's very herbal.
Mint, no dill.
I'm happy there isn't dill. Not into dilly ryes.
I had this one recently, and I got like lemon marshmallow off of it, which is not
There's
something that I've
another
gotten
one.
before, but
Lemon
I'm
marsh-
getting it now.
I can see that.
I like your lemon marshmallow note. There's nothing wrong
Like
with
that, vanilla
There's a
ice
vanilla
cream
sweetness.
with, mint sprigs.
Vanilla icing, mint, lemon marshmallow is really not a bad note. I like the sweetness. Does it transition to marshmallow? It might. If you layered that with licorice and mint and oh man,
This has definitely got a deep like sugar sweetness to me. Like it's definitely
or
like
a little darker, like a creme brulee, burnt sugar, caramel,
toffee.
toffee. It's not a bad.
toffee's a good one. Yep.
Boy, smells phenomenal. I'm going in. Cheers, folks.
Cheers. Oh, that's so good. Deeply brown sugar.
Butterscotch.
It is so flippin' good.
Wow, that's delicious.
Man.
Whew.
Gracious sakes alive.
Burst of those sweet notes, and then it transitions to this peppery rye spice with a black tea or a green tea finish on there.
Oh, now the tea notes,
I know.
those are strong there. That's a great note. There is an earthiness,
a little bit.
Yep.
a tea. That's good. Wow.
I love the proof point now that Kentucky Hub comes in. It just makes you feel
The
warm. and
finish
happy
is
inside.
still
It's
going.
still going.
Do you want your first hint?
Sure.
State of distillery. Is that a still option?
State of
Okay.
distillation. This will help you narrow it down a lot. State of distillation is Missouri.
Oh, this is a Ben Holiday.
Is this there?
Is this the Rickhouse proof?
The Rickhouse proof. Because we've had that before. You know what? It doesn't taste unlike that.
I could see that. Ben Holiday Rickhouse proof. The proof is right because they don't get too up there.
But I think they're in the 1-teens.
They're in the one I have back there. I think is 120 some odd, so it could be the weeded. Yeah,
I don't think it's a weeded. Boy, that would
that would
surprise.
surprise the hell out of me.
With all the rye.
But the only distillery I know in Missouri is
Well, right,
Ben
yeah.
Holiday.
Les Anheuser-Busch is doing something I'm unaware of. Right? So,
I mean, Coors has Barman.
right.
It could be Ben Holiday Rickhouse proof. Yeah, it could very well be.
I like that guess. Now, do you have the Rickhouse proof? Do we have the Rickhouse proof of
It's behind.
of the high rye bourbon, or is it the weeded?
I think I have the weeded mash bill. To my knowledge, I don't know if they put anything else out other than weeded, but that could be incorrect. But yeah, it's back there. Where the heck is it?
It's back there. That's as good. Where's your glass? Right here.
This one.
This one here.
I also
Yeah,
would like to
I,
point out that you guys have finished. Are you using Weeglens?
We are using wheat.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say because that sample bottle looks giant in comparison to your Glens.
Have the wee Glencairns.
Oh, we have Glencairn envy over the Glencairns. We have wee Glencairns.
We like the wee Glencairns.
Yeah, they're good.
For the tasting.
Oh no, I'm a big fan of the wee Glencairn, especially the fact that if you go to buy them, which you can do, folks, on like Amazon or whatever, you type in WEE Glencairns. That it's like a set. It's dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Buy 2 sets.
That's what I did, and then I gave one to Trent.
It's really freaking good.
I have one for.
This is phenomenal.
I have one for like tastings and stuff, so you try and not get super toasty.
Exactly.
Well, it helps to control the volume of pour, so to speak.
Oh, I use them when I'm drinking at home. Now, sometimes not, because sometimes all I do is pour myself, 3 ounces or something.
Yeah.
And I'm done for the night. Man alive, that's good. Well,
Ben Holiday
Rickhouse Proof. That's my guess. I love to win. Did I win?
Well, do you want to skip that, or do you want to do another
do we
hint?
have another hint?
It's up to you. Is the other hint going to give it away? Or
It will help at the very least.
okay,
Go ahead.
All right. Your other hint is that it is a wheated bourbon.
Okay. Then it's Ben Holiday Rickhouse Brew.
I can't believe it's weeded.
I would not have predicted it's weeded. That is a
Pouches are
surprise.
better for tastings.
Whatever it was.
It was very good.
I want more. I think we considered putting that on our bourbon of the year. When we did our tasting, before we did our tasting to decide what was going to be on it. It was on the list. Now, it didn't make it, but it came close.
It was really close. If that's what it is.
If that's what it is.
So I think I lost your video. Let me try switching scenes, see if that helps. It did not help. Let me try hiding you on stream and then bringing you back. No. All right. I might need to disconnect you guys and then reconnect.
Okay, whatever. We'll be here.
All right. Real quick. Just try and disconnect. Troy, okay. While I'm trying to get them back in, you guys give some guesses. If you guys get the guess right, I might send you a sample of what we're doing. Chris said pouches are better for tastings because for some reason I became the pouch guy at his tastings. I made him Baja Blasters. So if you're at all interested in an episode where I talk about making pouches, like cocktail pouches, drop a comment and I will do that. I think I need to get Troy and Trent to reconnect here, but if you guys drop a super chat, you will be entered to win a merch pack from Gentleman Whiskey, including 2 not released to the public stickers that are coming from this right here, the Santa Glen Summer Vibes collection, which I designed myself. It's super fun. I like it a lot. It's one of those things where I'm real interested in making my own merch. So if you want to get one of these, you can pre-order them. They're in the store currently. The store link is in the description of this video. We are waiting for Troy and Trent to reconnect. They said they are on it. Cool. We've had pretty much no problems up to this point, so there's bound to be a problem at some point. What are you guys drinking tonight? Chris Big Stick says he needs that. Yeah, it's good. I like the design for this. Also, there have been comments made that it looks a little bit like the PA Bourbon Squad's fearless leader, Matt O'Driscoll, or at least one of the 2 fearless leaders for that. Crap. Okay. It decided to change the stream key on us. So I gotta send that to Trent and Troy real quick. Try that. And then I actually accidentally sent them a sticker of Uncle Dave because I have a sticker of Uncle Dave holding bottles up. Super fun. So, if you are at all interested in attempting to win tonight, drop a super chat or be a part of our Patreon for future live streams. Patreon and channel members get a free entry whether you're here or not. So definitely look into doing that. And definitely go in the description and subscribe to Trent and Troy and the efforts of the Bourbon Brothers Whiskey Nerds. They're doing some great work over there. Fun reviews. They're two fun guys. Really appreciate that. And we're going to have them back on stream right now because they're back.
Table. But don't be alarmed. You can't get rid of us that easily. Phil.
I wasn't trying to get rid of you.
We're like bad pennies. We always turn up. Right? So.
We could still hear you. You were just frozen. So.
Oh, yeah?
I let it go for like a couple minutes to see if it would just, catch up at some point, but it did not.
Could have been my internet having some glitchy
ceases or
See,
something.
it says full bars of connection. Like I have a thing that shows that, but who knows? I don't know. All right, are you guys ready for your final guesses? Ready. What is your final guess?
Oh, it's been a holiday Rickhouse brew.
Final answer.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I see the bottle already.
I appreciate you sticking with it because it is the soft red wheat Rickhouse proof. This one is 119.8 proof. It is almost entirely floor 3 and 4, so it's middle floors, which is pretty good.
Floor. Yep, it's pretty good stuff.
Is that what yours is?
Yep. So I've got mostly floors 3 and floor. Oh, and I'm 119.8. So
okay, so you probably have the same one.
Apparently have the same batch. Fall 2027, Rickhouse C, April 2024.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. It's really good, folks. Get yourself some.
Supposedly it's moving to a 7-year age stated this year instead of 6.
Ooh, even better, more age.
So
that'll stink. We'll have to buy some more.
Darn it.
Oh no. Buying more whiskey.
That's so sad.
So painful.
All right, Troy.
Hurts me.
131.
I know. Girlfriend brings the heat.
I like it.
See, I wasn't quite sure where your proof.
Oh gosh. We're proof hounds.
Okay, me too.
Not howl,
so,
but well, we're proof. I'll put a caveat on that because I don't want to speak for Trent. But we're proof hounds when it is not done just for the sake of being able to put a ridiculously high proof on a bottle. So I kind of started. I don't know if you remember, John. I posted a picture of the label for Knob Creek 21 on Bourbon Squad. It was a while ago. I kind of started a bit of a firestorm because it's 100 proof. And they were like, it's 100 proof. I'm like, well, it
might not be all bad, right? Like,
well,
not every whiskey
needs to be 131.
Agreed.
Nor do we want it to be. I think there's a myth in the whiskey community that proof equals better, and that is not always the case, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, no, it's just simply not.
Or proof is more expensive and is thereby better, and
I do subscribe to that myth. I don't think it's as much of a myth. So my philosophy has always been, and it's not necessarily like higher proof, but the less cut a whiskey is, the more potential flavor it contains. Because
now that would definitely agree with. However, the counter to that is perhaps the cutting is detracting from flavors that would be off-putting. This was really evident on the Jack 10, 12, and 14 release from this year. A lot of people, I had the 14, and I thought it was over-oaked. It was too much. and I enjoyed the 10 a little bit more. So.
I have a sample to do that at some point. But also, in addition to that, I don't know what it is, but there's something about hazmat whiskey to me where it's got a flavor depth all of its own.
We had a hazmat. I forget what that
there was the hazmat.
There was a hazmat something that
Jack Daniel's Coy Hill.
Coy Hill. Yeah,
that we had, and there was a hazmat. Wasn't it a BTAC? Was it a?
Oh, it might have been it might have been a George T. Stagg.
A GTS.
It might have been a George T. Stagg.
A GTS, right?
So this one right here was my whiskey of the year 2025, and it is 140 proof. Nulu single barrel, Kentucky. So it is sourced from Green River, and there's just something about it. Like you can see the freaking color on it is.
Oh, I can see how dark it is.
Absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, that's bananas. You have so much left.
Oh, I know, right?
This is roasty, toasty, nutty. There's
roasty, toasty, nutty.
Yes. How's that for a tasting, though?
Oh, that's great. I love it.
Peanut brittle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get a lot of fruit from it too. Like I get.
There's a cherry note in here too, maybe a strawberry.
I would say almost grape. I think I get like a grape jam from it. Sherry says, Bourbon Battalion. So that is Cody, who is Bourbon Battalion on TikTok. He's actually going to be my guest in Troy and Trent's position on July 20th. Larrikin Deep Purple is absolutely incredible for a hazmat. Have you guys had any Larrikin stuff?
What's that?
Have you had any Larrikin?
No.
I haven't either. I've actually driven by the distillery several times because they're on the way to Maker's Mark from where we were staying in Elizabethtown. So we drove by there like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, "What is that place?"
I have a guess already.
Ooh. Call your shot, Trent.
I have a guess already. That grape note, you know what it reminds me of? Alberta Premium rye barrel.
Well,
fruit.
you're right, because the Alberta Premium rye is straight up grape. Yes, I agree.
And his batch could be a little bit different.
Well, there were higher proofs out there. Mine's a little lower now, relatively speaking.
And if this is a rye, I'm not surprised. Like I think I smell it.
Here's the question, though: does Alberta Premium count as a craft distillery?
Well, that is
considering they are one of the biggest Canadian distilleries.
Yeah, well, they probably is that the same company that does Whistle Pig?
Yes. Yep.
Yes, I believe so.
Bourbon Bestie said, "Ooh, is there a lineup of friends who will be joining the lives?" So, in 2 weeks, since next week is Father's Day, I'm not streaming on Father's Day. In 2 weeks, I actually do not have a guest, and if I end up not having a guest, I'm going to do this SLB drinks kit from Highwire Distilling, and that'll be fun. It'll be Bourbon Blinds with myself, not with friends. On July 6th, I have the Bourbon Besties on, so that'll be a fun time. I skipped over June 29th. June 29th is 717 Bourbon Society night, so I'll have Brian, Dave... I feel like there's one other person that I'm missing. They'll be on. It'll be a fun time for them as well. And then July 20th, I've got Cody. And July 13th, I've got the guys from Only Drams. I've got Colin.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I have Colin and Trenton from Only Drams going to join me. So that's going to be a fun time.
We love the Only Drams.
Yeah. All right, do you guys want your first hint?
I'm ready.
What do you want your first hint to be? How about that?
I don't care. You pick.
Do you want state of distillation again? Or do you want type of whiskey?
Give me type of whiskey this time.
All right, this is a low rye bourbon.
All right.
Low rye less than 20% or low rye
Low
less
rye,
than
well,
10?
20% is my line of differentiation. So technically,
Okay.
Green River would be high rye at 21%.
Okay.
It could be B-tacky. It could be.
And that wouldn't be craft, though.
Well, that's true. Dang it. Yeah, you're right. Can't be that.
It could be sourced, and it could be sourced from Jim B, which explains the roasty, toasty nuttiness that we're getting. Is this a Buckner's, maybe? Or is this Buffalo Turkey?
Buckner's is a hell of a guess. Or if that works out to be right, that would be impressive work. Damn.
You know, I actually don't know that I've had anything Buckner's. I have a sample of the. Have you heard of Whiskey Weather? He's on Instagram and TikTok. He did a sample of the Old Route 8 and Frank Rivera, Bariqua, Bourbon and Cigar Journey on Instagram.
I almost bought an Old Year 8 when I found it when I was in Ohio, and I almost grabbed a bottle, but I did not. Our brother-in-law had a Buckner's. That was Buffalo Turkey. So, Wild Turkey mash bill distilled by Buffalo Trace, and it's kind of permeated the market, and they're very old.
Yep.
12, 13, 14. I think his might have been 15 years.
I think they're all 14 to 16. I think the oldest one I've seen so far is 16 years, 8 months, and that's Reverie's pick from
Reverie had one too.
Take.
Had a Buckner's that was Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Bourbon Battalion's asking, is Trent and Troy on TikTok? I'm new to the bourbon game. Or YouTube game. Are you guys on Instagram?
We are exclusively on Instagram. Or pardon me, we're exclusively on YouTube right now. It's possible that we'll branch out. I think that might be kind of some of what's next is more platforms, but
okay.
As of right now, YouTube only. Bourbon Brothers Whiskey Nerds, come and check it out. Like, subscribe.
Absolutely.
Watch John's show, Gentlemen in Whiskey. He is a true gentleman of whiskey. And like most gentlemen of whiskey, he's got himself a nice lady of whiskey as well. Supports him, takes care of him. We're a big fan of John. Watch his show. And then come check out the Bourbon Brothers Whiskey Nerds. We try to have a good time.
Link for them is in the description.
This is the fourth whiskey in a row. John's given us that is just phenomenal.
He's a true gentleman because he set us up with pretty.
It's not like he gave us crap.
It's not like
no. That's not the point.
Finished bull crap, on us, which.
There's some good finished whiskeys, but for me, like, if I truly like a finished whiskey, it's always wood finished.
Oh, right.
Oh, well, like French oak or.
Well, usually, like, and I feel like Amberana is like the cilantro of the whiskey world, where either you love it or you hate it. So, Amberana for me is one.
By the way,
those Muzunara casks from Japan are becoming real popular too. So Muzunara or whatever it is.
They're real expensive though.
Yeah, that's one of our complaints. It's a good cheap trick to sell your whiskey for more money.
I got nothing on that last one, although I could predict that are we due for a second hint, John?
Yeah. Yeah, what do you want?
Do
you want a state of distillation?
Yeah,
sure.
State of distillation is Indiana.
Oh, then this is MGP.
It might not be.
Well,
if it's craft, it's not MGP.
Do you want a secondary hint?
Yeah, give me a secondary.
State of bottling is Colorado.
Oh, is this Breckenridge something?
Or Laws.
Oh. What's that? There's another
one. 291.
291. Yes, it could be 291. A 291 cast strength low rye? I could see that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a surprise. Where I'm surprised if it's MGP juice that is low rye. I didn't realize they made a low rye juice.
Well, all right, real quick, we got to argue with something about with both the Bourbon Besties and with Cody from Bourbon Battalion. Also, back to the holiday. Hot take, but I prefer the Bottle & Bond soft red wheat over the Rickhouse proof, and I am usually a proof guy. I'm not with you there, buddy.
No. I mean, they're both really good for what they are.
Well, I'll throw in a hot take. I think I like the bottled and bond bourbon better than the bottled and bond soft red wheat.
Ooh.
But
You know what? Actually, since you said both of them, I think I agree with that. But both of them, to me, both of the bottled and bond ones are like, they're bourbon water. Like, they're bourbon notes with nothing distinct, and it's just, I don't even know what to say other than, like, I drink it and this is bourbon. Like, there may be some brown sugar, there may be some oak, but there's not much to it.
Definitely, I mean, it's good. $2.91 is a hell of a price.
Right. Well, I'm trying to think of Breckenridge is good.
Breckenridge.
And I know and Laws.
Laws sources, so does Breckenridge.
$2.91 is a good guess. Trying to think of other Colorado
based distilleries.
Not coming up with anything. We named 3 pretty good ones.
We did.
I'm going to give you one further hint.
I'm ready.
This is a large award-winning whiskey. So, like, the San Francisco Spirits, the Ascot Awards,
Well, I don't think Breckenridge won one.
Breckenridge did not.
that-
$2.91.
And Laws does.
And
they
Laws
win those
does.
crap all the
They
time.
win that crap all the time. Yeah. Not crap, but
They had a bottled and bond that won lots and lots and lots of them. An 8-year, I think. An 8-year bottled and bond that won. So those are still really good guesses.
Laws in $2.91 is solid.
Yeah, those are good guesses. I don't think. See again, John shopping on Sealbox again, because this didn't come from FWGS. I'm telling you that
It
much.
surely did.
Do you want to know a secret?
What?
I bought this on secondary, actually.
Oh.
So I am
One of them guys.
I am not shy about admitting that I buy stuff on secondary, especially for content. This I got for a pretty good deal, though.
Secondary for content. Okay, I'll get.
Yeah, we might buy stuff on secondary for content.
I would probably do that.
There's a few things that I've overpaid for. This is one of them right here. The Green River Weeded Barrel debut.
Weeded Barrel debut.
So this is the cast strength Weeded Barrel. I have no regrets. I think it's a fantastic bottle of whiskey. I love everything Green River, honestly. I think Green River is...
I was sipping on Green River Rye,
I didn't even realize it was 95.5. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's good, man.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Green River...
The Green River Foolproof is the best, one of the best foolproof values you can buy.
It's better than Rare Breed. I said it.
Whoa! Sounds like a blind.
That is a hot take and a half. It's better than Rare Breed? Ooh.
I said what I said.
Oh.
Yeah, he did say it.
You did say it.
He's tripled down
I
now.
know.
Gotta give the man his props.
I love everything Green River, and I think Green River is similar in taste, is the most close distillery to Buffalo Trace with the highest availability.
We don't have to ponder that.
I'm gonna have to think.
I have to think about it.
Getting all philosophical for us. 7:15 on a Sunday.
No, I'm just distracting you from the fourth one.
Yeah, I still don't know what it is. Well, although we do have some good guesses. 291, Laws.
Yep.
That there was an 8-year.
Saying it doesn't make it right. Bourbon Bestie said saying it doesn't make it right. Well, in this case, it happens to be both.
Well, that's true. Lots of people say stuff that's totally wrong all the
Totally
time.
wrong all the time. Although, you know what? I'm willing to take up John on his offer. I'll put Green River and Rare Breed in a blind.
I will do it.
I will do that.
Don't tempt us.
Yeah.
Like,
that-
drink more whiskey.
that'll
stop.
stink.
Don't
You know
threaten
what?
me with
I
a
don't
good
think
time.
we have any Rare Breed left. So we'll have to
I have
buy-
Rare Breed.
Oh, do you have Rare Breed? Okay.
Well, it's behind you. All right. But we got Rare Breed.
Just
We'll be
Rodriguez
all right
says, love it when I get tea notes on a rye.
Oh, yes, he's right. Yes. Big believer. Little Book 8, my friend.
Little Book
You're welcome.
Chapter 8. Whoa. Was
Keynote on a rye for days.
that was some good stuff.
Is that the only little book you've had?
Yes.
That is the only little book we've had. Yeah, the little book 8.
Now I've had, I think it was like 1 and 2 and then 5. And I've got to be honest, I will never buy another little book.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you want to pour the 8, we'll gladly take care of that for you. That's not a problem.
I mean, I gotta find you guys at some point because I gotta give you a bottle of Wild Turkey 8 to review.
Yes.
Well, I went into like my 7th store in Maryland looking for it this week. Apparently, in theory, it's coming to Fine Wine and Good Spirits.
Why does it take so long?
I know.
Like the Four Roses single barrel.
We're gonna have to
just showed up.
We're
It's
gonna
so
have to.
frustrating.
We're gonna have to be something that we're not good at being patient.
It takes so long.
I don't
Well,
know about
John's
that.
offering a bottle because
Yeah,
that's an impossible block.
Because he's a gentleman.
I
of
know
whiskey.
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
I'm happy to share my whiskey
all
with
right.
friends, which
Number
is why
4,
we're doing
John.
this.
I'm ready.
Absolutely.
You ready?
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Number 4.
All right, do we get a drum roll? This is Smoke Eye Hill
Smoke
Barrel
Eye.
Proof.
I didn't guess that. Supposedly, the George T. Stag Killer, which
Ugh.
mentioned,
All right.
but that's
Look, we got
crap.
we got to talk about that for a second because I'm actually going. I'm in the process of scripting a video of what is the problem with whiskey awards.
Oh yes.
Ooh,
And-
I kind of like where you're headed with this.
One of the big ones I think is, especially the Ascot Awards. I really feel I've read reviews from a couple different people, and I've seen like they televised or not televised, but YouTubeized the Ascot Awards last year, and you can definitely tell that Fred is leading them in a direction. Now, I had last year's GTS, and I love Smoke Eye Hill, but last year's GTS is better than Smoke Eye Hill.
Oh, I think some of that is clickbait. In all honesty, John, I don't disagree with you.
I don't know that in that specific circumstance I have an opinion. I'm all in on whiskey awards are overrated. Like whiskey awards, one of the main problems, especially if people are new on their whiskey journey, is so much of that crap is single barrel, and you're not gonna get the same flavors on every barrel.
I agree.
You're just not.
Well,
And
if it's not single barrel, did they select the barrel or the batch that it came from?
That
like,
they
you
sent
don't know that.
to Ascot, right?
Correct.
Or whatever,
Or San
San
Francisco,
Francisco, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
You know,
Here's the other question. What does it help if GTS wins? Who does that help? Because they're going to sell out GTS either way.
Well, precisely. I mean, the only way, unless we buy it on secondary, the only way we're getting George C. Stag is if we win one of the PA lotteries. You know, that's the only way we're getting any PTAC.
Right.
You know, or we win a salvage lottery, which I suppose could happen.
Right. Well, right. I mean,
Because I am not spending secondary prices for a bottle of George T.
I don't think I'm doing it.
That's
now
not
there might be some things that I would spend secondary on. I mean, but I don't
Which
think
is
that
perhaps an interesting topic.
that would be
Well,
an interesting.
While we're
topic.
making confessions, I did spend secondary on a George T. Stag. Although I did trade for it, so I spent roughly $700. Some of it was in trade, but that is the bottle that I opened for when my daughter was born. So
Well, for that, I can understand it.
I get
You
it.
know, I get it.
And again, I'm too much of a libertarian to complain about how you do your bourbon.
Right.
Like that's not for me to decide.
Yeah.
I
like that.
I don't know now. I gotta be. Somebody dangled some of the things we've had in the past, and just pours of
Mhm.
that were that good in front of me, and gave me a bottle. Like somebody dangled me a Maker's Mark Cellar Age.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted, even if it were 300-400, which is probably double MSRP. I mean,
Very
Yeah,
close.
I think MSRP's. I think I paid $175 at the distillery.
175.
Right,
Is not
yeah.
MSRP.
so somebody dangled something like that.
Did
in
you get a
front of me.
Russell's 15, John?
I did. Yep, I got one for $250, and I think that's overpriced at MSRP.
This is one of the few disagreements. I like Russell's 13 better.
I like it at
now
the
I-
price. I don't think it's a better whiskey.
No, it probably isn't. I won one in the lottery.
Mm.
Phenomenal. One of the best whiskeys I've ever had. such a departure. That's what's interesting about that
That's what
13
was
to 15
about it. Yeah.
is that it was very earthy, tea and leather and smoke and
Well, and it was missing the wild turkey funk.
right. It
The
wasn't.
funk wasn't there.
It wasn't there.
It was phenomenal.
It was a really good. It was a really good whiskey. 15 is really good too.
Yeah.
15 is really good.
I mean, again, we had a pour of Michter's 20.
We had a pour of Michter's 20 and 25 not that long ago. And
Yeah.
And
I like the 20 better.
I think I like the 20 better too. I think if somebody dangled one of those in front of me, I'd be tempted. Like a bottle, right?
Yeah.
You know, so
we're hankering for a Michter's barrel strength rye of any variety we can find.
Someone
I
might
think
be able to
Michter's-
help you with that.
Oh, really?
Michter's rye is better than Michter's
Okay.
bourbon. There you go.
Oh,
I
there's
said
a
it.
hot take. Rye,
I said
Michter's rye is better than Michter's
That's not a hot take. That's a correct take. Michter's bourbon
rye
is
is-
massively overrated.
Oh, I don't
Michter's
disagree with
Mick Old Forester rye is better than Old Forester bourbon too.
Ooh, I don't know if I agree with that one.
but
But-
I'm not sure.
I do like Old Forester rye, but there's some Old Forester bourbons, which, here's my hot take of the day. I don't think any of the standard Whiskey Row series is actually good.
What do you like, the single barrel proofs?
I do.
Or-
I also like the 1924 a lot.
I think, I don't want to speak for Trent. I think I like Old Forester more than Trent.
Oh, he does.
Which
Yeah,
he'll agree.
he does. Yeah.
I do, and
With the exception of the rye, because I love Old Forester rye.
and the
It's good rye.
1924 is superb. It's in behind me. It's right
It's
there.
a really interesting pour of whiskey. Now, I was big down on 1920 for a long time.
Mm.
I'm not a big 1920 guy. Not a big 1920 guy. I like 1897 more than 1920. That got me some hate on the squad. Some of my hot takes. 1910 grew on us. I feel
1910
like
did grow on us. The first time we had 1910 was actually at the
we
distillery.
didn't really like it.
We were like, the 1897
It
phenomenal.
was phenomenal. It's really, really good.
Really, really good.
So, but yeah, but no, Old Forester single barrel proof whiskey, bourbon or rye, they're the best thing Old Forester makes. You can still get them for under 100 at the right place,
Yeah.
and buy them all the time. That's a buy every day.
My beef, I think, if I have to say it that way, my beef with Old Forester is that their products are really inconsistent. Like, I think there's some really good batches of 1920. There's some good batches of 1897, because 1897 is, I think, one of the most inconsistent. But I think they're so inconsistent that I don't even know the last time I bought a 1920. The 1897 I think is the one that I bought the most recently, and it got really close to beating. No, I think it actually did. I think it won. I did a bourbon brackets when I had a co-host, and we did a bourbon brackets with bottled and bond whiskey, and I think the 1897 won that. And I think that's the bottle that I still have. So I agree with you. I think 1897 has the potential to be really good. I just think they need like a batch system on the bottles so that you can tell what you're buying, or they need to fix their consistency.
I think that inconsistency really shows in the birthday bourbon.
Yep.
Because people are either love them or hate them.
Yep.
Like this year's phenomenal.
Well, I think there's even inconsistency in the BTACs, though, too.
Oh yeah.
Some of them are just out of this
Yeah,
world.
but there's not that level of inconsistency. Like, I feel like there is constantly a BTAC that is close to being Whiskey of the Year. Like, and if you're being real, like, Whiskey of the Year conversation every single year needs to have generally a Parker's and generally a BTAC as part of it.
I think that I don't know. I might disagree at Scoth. I mean, we were fortunate enough to have a pour of WLW,
Yeah,
like,
well.
and it was 2024, I think. I mean,
I think it was.
and I got to tell you, I think I'd pick Cellar Age over it. I mean, those are two weededs for you. And
Well, I'll throw a hot take out here while we're throwing hot takes. Just
I love
it's
this.
fun.
We've turned into the hot take show. It's great.
I had a pour of E.H. Taylor bottled in bond, just a small batch,
Yep.
and it was legitimately bad.
Yep.
Like legit bad.
Yeah.
Hot, youthful, just bad. I'd rather have Benchmark bottled in bond, quite
Yep.
frankly. I don't know why people chase it, and I don't know why people spend the money that they do on it. 'Cause it's just not that good. I'm sorry.
Well, so the problem being though is the fact that since it's bottled in bond, it has to like you are so your hands are so tied with blending any inconsistencies out of it. So if you had a bad distillation season of grain, you are, up a creek without a paddle.
That's a valid point, but we noticed that you want a stag formerly known as Junior.
well, I still call it Stag Junior. Now
That's
it's
fine.
Stag, right?
I prefer stag formerly known as Junior.
Stag
And if you
formerly
get
known-
that cultural reference,
I like it.
you're
Yep.
from our
The artist
generation.
formerly known as Prince. Yeah, I get it.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But it was really inconsistent in the same bottle.
It was very inconsistent.
What
It drank
what batch
half
was
one
it? Do you
day,
remember?
What?
Do you remember what batch it was?
18B.
APV.
18.
18B.
Okay. Interesting.
And I have the bottle at home still, so
Yeah,
I verify that.
18's the one where it's swapped, right? Where 18
believe-
18's the one
that
where
was
the first one that it was no longer junior.
That was the
believe
first
so.
one they didn't have the
Yeah.
comma junior. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember 18 not being that good. I've said this for most of last year, but I think they're doing too much. I think they need to do 2 batches a year and that's enough. They need to make 2 good batches per year. 4 is too many.
That's
Like
funny
four-
that you mentioned it, because I say the same thing about Booker's. Like, just put out 2 batches a year. Like, stop with this.
Well, and
seasonal
I
crap.
think that Larceny Barrel Proof could.
I think all of
benefit
these
from-
seasonal releases just need to shift to like 2 times a year. Just make better with
2 really good ones.
correct,
Right.
Then 1 mediocre and 1 super stellar one.
The one you didn't talk about, but is equally true, is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Now-
Hot take.
Hot take.
We don't like
We don't like
Elijah.
Heaven Hill.
We don't like Elijah.
I'm
Craig.
with
We
you.
don't like
I mean,
Heaven Hill.
There's I have noticed, especially for my palate, there is a very easily line of delineation between 130 proof plus ECBP releases and the fact that I like them. If it is under 130 proof, it is not for me.
There's a direct correlation there.
100%.
It's interesting. I don't know. We've never even tasted an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Now maybe the time will come for the channel, so like and subscribe, that they'll give us,
I know. Which is why you need to like and subscribe.
media
I know we
releases.
get samples then. That would be pretty cool.
But until that happens, now I heard from a lot of people on the Whiskey Tube community who I respect that A125 was jamming, that it was pretty darn good.
I
But it was
still
the best
hear
one in a while.
The C923 is.
I don't think any of the A batches are for me.
in recent years.
A batches are usually younger and more. I think there was a video by the Bourbon Junkies a while back, and I will see if I can link it somewhere here if I can find it. But they were talking about A, B, and C batches of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof and what they try to do with each one, because it's a little bit different each time. And usually the C batches are the highest proof and the oldest, which last year was not true with one of those. The B batch was 130.6, but they try to hit different things.
I think that some of it might just be. I think people are getting just sort of tired of it. They're like, oh yeah, I like Craig Barrel Proof. You got to do something different, Evan Hill. Same thing with Larceny. Got to do something different. Got to do something different. I don't even care what different is, but you got to do something different. I think people are tired of the facing almost, right? It's just another Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, just another Heaven Hill or Heaven Hill product Barrel Proof. I mean,
Well, and the fact that I could probably find it within relatively short distance at a fine wine and good spirits, I think kind of tells you.
Right.
I mean, they used to fly off the shelves, and I see them with regularity.
Oh, I could walk into a fine wine and good spirits now and find you an Elijah Craig barrel.
Yeah, I can find you a larceny for that matter.
It wouldn't be hard to do. Now, that doesn't mean that it would be right.
Bad.
Right. But it doesn't make it bad whiskey. But I don't know. Just never been a big fan. So, yeah.
Yeah, so
Elijah Craig perpetually disappointed me because it was one of the first bourbons I ever bought on my bourbon journey.
Yeah.
And I actively disliked it, and I've never been the same since.
For me, there was a very easy, we'll call it correlation between post 2020 and Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, or any Elijah Craig product, because I think the small batch was really good in 2020, and I think 2020 was the year that they went, oh shit, we got to start pumping out whiskey like crazy. So Heaven Hill started going like damn the torpedoes, like we need to get product on the shelves, and they stopped with their quality dropped like crazy.
It's an interesting take.
We've got some other interesting takes here. Somebody was calling me out for being more. I know a guy who says more proof, more flavor. It's me. Oh, you know a certain gentleman. Chris Big Stick says Parker's Heritage for the win. Have you guys had any Parker's products?
No.
I've never had a Parker's place. No.
Well, I think I'm scared because it's Heaven Hill, and we don't dig Heaven Hill.
I don't know, man. So I have two. I have the wheat whiskey. I have the 11-year wheat whiskey, and I have the 10-year rye, and they are consistently top 10. Now, I will say
Rye in the wild, I'd probably get it.
the American single malt that's cognac finished is not good.
To be fair, Grain Glass, that rye,
the Heaven Hill
Grain Glass rye, that stuff's phenomenal. We really were big fans of that. And I've heard good things about the Grain Glass bourbon. Haven't bought it.
And the weeded. The weeded
Right.
is
Well, the weeded is good too, apparently.
getting
So,
all the attention.
but no,
I think the rye was a bit of a sleeper.
it was, but it's
good.
really good.
Really good.
It was. I was a little worried when we fresh cracked it because it was like,
We fresh cracked it driving home from Kentucky.
well, we were in a
In the
hotel. We were in a hotel room, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
it was so funny.
But so we fresh cracked it. It was almost so minty.
It was like an Altoid.
So minty it was astringent, but it settled down, opened up. It was
That
good
was
whiskey.
delicious.
It was good whiskey.
Sherry likes to remind me of all of the dumb tasting notes that I put out. Like one time I called Van Winkle Lot B Great Brandy.
Great.
And also apparently I
We're
called
talking whiskey,
EHT
and I
Small
don't
Batch Wood Glue or something, which sounds right.
E.H. Taylor small batch wood glue.
Yeah.
Wood glue. Now that's rough.
I believe that is the thing that I said. Jeffrey Wack from the Hello Again Whiskey Friends said, y'all need to try Castle and Key Weeded Bourbon. And he said, it's a wild ride. Joe Rodriguez said, almost ordered a 15-year Buckner's, but it was damn near $400 upon checkout, so I backed out.
Yeah,
I would do the same.
About MSRP. I think MSRP is $350, which is
An awful lot for a 14-year-old age
which is
stated whiskey.
a lot of money.
People are wilding with those Buff Turkey releases.
The Buff Turkey is just
Look, it is some really good whiskey. I have a K&L pick that was really good, and I had Reveries last night, and I actually have a sample of it that I'm going to do on channel at some point, so we'll segue that into what's next with you guys. But I think Buff Turkey is good. It's, I think, the best of both worlds, but
I don't think it was bad. Is it $350?
no, it absolutely is not. But now, on the flip side of that, you are owning a piece of history.
A valid
Like, they will never make that again. Like, there will never be more Buff Turkey in existence, so you are owning a piece of, like, historical relevance. You guys drinking Old Ezra? Is that what I saw?
Old Ezra.
I admit to a certain love for Lux Row that I can't quite explain. Because I think Old Ezra is really, really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
Old Ezra 7 is good in rye or bourbon form. I'm a big fan of Rebel products. I think Rebel is perpetually underrated whiskey.
I will join you in an Old Ezra 7.
There we go.
Twist my arm to drink more whiskey.
Well, I was just saying we're talking whiskey, and I don't have any whiskey left.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
I think we're breaking like a command or something.
Yeah. I feel like the
whiskey
there's
commandments.
13th
Something like that. I don't know.
27th commandment?
We mean no sacrilege.
Or was that amendments? I forget.
I think it was.
No, whatever.
It was something.
It's constitutionally mandated.
Chris Big Six says, you keep saying buff turkey, and I see a jacked turkey fighting a farmer at Thanksgiving. I'm sure somebody can make an AI image of that.
That should be
the symbol.
I mean, there's definitely been some like some tater stickers of like jacked turkeys.
Like that'd be awesome.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be great. Like a weightlifter turkey. That'd be awesome. I'd buy that.
Like Hans and Franz from
Oh,
from SNL.
Right.
We're here to pump you up.
Pump you up.
That is good stuff. I didn't even think about that. That's a good idea.
Joe Rodriguez. Sorry, Joe Rodriguez says, is Smoke Eye Hill out of Colorado? Can't remember. Yes, it is.
Yes,
it is.
There is a guy on Instagram.
My mind didn't go to Smoke Eye Hill.
My mind didn't go to that either.
Have you had Smoke Eye Hill before?
No, that was our first.
Okay.
I mean, that was our first.
I came close. Again, silly seal box.
Water.
I came close on seal box to buying one and didn't.
I mean, it's only $85 on Sealbox.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah.
Which, I mean, they absolutely bend you over with shipping fees, but
it's the shipping. It turns an $80 bottle into a $100 bottle. It's
so true.
Wall. It's really irritating and
so frustrating.
But I did come close. Now I don't know which one it was. I'm not big up on Smoke Eye Hill, but it does get and all of the stuff we had tonight was phenomenal. So I mean, I'm not complaining about it.
Having tried it, would you buy one?
Yes,
I probably would. Yeah,
I think I'd spend a bill on one.
I buy all. I already have one of them, but I think I'd buy all three.
Well, I want to get a bottle of the Pumpernickel Rye, just flagship, not cask strength, because cask strength is so good. I think it might be a good, budget rye, just everyday drinker rye. In me somewhere, or in us somewhere, is a rye, everyday drinker rye blind, right?
Yeah.
We sort of did it with bourbon this year. We should do it with rye.
I think we're coming up now that the Four Roses. Trent and I are Four Roses fanboys.
Okay.
Watch the channel.
One of my favorite John Gouge stories is
Ooh.
that he's not a Four Roses fan.
I am not.
He can't handle the high rye.
Well, Trent and I are
It's
probably
true.
biased for high rye bourbon, but we are Four Roses.
You know what's
fanboys.
bonkers? I have on my bar currently all 10 recipes.
Oh
my
gosh, she's
I have
got all 10.
All 10 recipes in this nice gift box, and
And
I
you did
I cannot bring myself to actually do it. I'm dead serious. Like there's something about and it's not necessarily even the high rye, because Green River is high rye, right?
Right.
21%, granted, right? It is closer to
Baby high rye.
low rye than high rye, but there's just something about the yeast that they use, and all of the Four Roses products I have are either really super herbal, or they are just baking spices forward, and there's not much else to it. And that's I've had multiple products. The closest thing I think to something that I like is the Black Label single barrel or barrel select, or SBS, or whatever it's called.
That's the blend of high rye mash bills. Yeah, barrel select.
And it's
that's good whiskey.
it's good, but I'm gonna spend that $40 somewhere else every time.
Yeah.
Well, we're big Four Roses fanboy, and now that finally the new single barrel releases have hit Pennsylvania, I think there's an impossible blind coming up
Of the new
ones, along with the flagship release. That's coming up. We are going to do a single barrel, unveiling the mystery of single barrels, for lack of
something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe even picks. I feel like
That's
the whiskey
coming up.
community especially those starting out, don't really understand what picks are,
Correct.
how it works.
And I think there's a difference, and John, maybe you could correct us if we're wrong, but there's a difference between a fine wine and good spirits pick and a Nick Saubel's pick.
Well, there is a big difference in that one of them is actually picking the barrels and the other one's getting sent the barrels.
Precisely. And I think that's a vast difference. Like, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Nick is trying multiple barrels and picking one. And that's not happening with fine wine and good spirits. So,
yeah, I think
there could be an interview with that fine gentleman coming up in there too as well.
So I think we've gotten tacit permission from Nick to film at Saubel's.
Okay.
Interview him. And so that would be great. And I want to do a we talked about a hunt video.
Yeah.
Like where we go to Saubel's on a hunt. Yeah. Like what are we gonna buy that day?
And maybe we go other places. Maybe we dive into New Jersey.
Maybe you never know,
you
right?
Never know where we'll
so
and then I think we really do, and this will require some research, but we really do want to talk about the science of flavor profile.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are the Bourbon Brothers Whiskey Nerds.
Yeah.
We want to talk about that. We want to dive into that. Not uber geeky level, but at a base level, just because we think it's cool.
I think what I'd like to do is have you have to get the right blend of content, right? Like I want it to be a nice blend of, hey, they're just drinking whiskey today, or hey, today's a blind day, or oh, there's that new thing that I saw at the store. Maybe I should listen, see if I should buy it, see if they like it, and some knowledge, right? Like where you have to get the blend right, and I think that's one of the things that we like about it. We look forward to, and so that's where we hope that it goes. But so yeah.
So the bottom line is the best way to help us is just like and subscribe. And share.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's fundamentally, that's the best thing you can do, you know, if you want to help us out in this. You know, Trent and I did not start this because we want to get media samples sent to us. We have no aspirations of that.
Don't care.
We could care less about that. We just want to have fun and drink whiskey.
Well, it's been interesting. Like we got an email from my old college professor wondering if I was the same person he remembers from class. I think one of the things that took us really weird was when our parents' church pastor, which was like, which I did not see coming, and might be sort of badass.
I mean, I think Dad said he was impressed with all the bottles behind.
Yeah, something like that. Wow. I don't know. So so there are things like that happen to you when you do this. And I mean, and maybe this was John's experience as well. So we'll ask him. I think you talk about starting a channel like this for like a year before you actually
we did, you know. And I think, you know, the brothers' banter is fun and unique. You know, it is. It's part of the charm, for lack of a
but I think being a everybody's looking for their niche, right, in the whiskey toot.
Yeah.
And maybe ours can be nerdiness, right? Like that's fine. You have your gentlemen of whiskey here. Here you have your nerds of whiskey. I would argue you need some of each in your life, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with being a gentleman of whiskey. There's nothing wrong with being a nerd of whiskey. And all of that's good. And
the other thing that Trent and I really try and do, and I don't even know as if it's intentional, and John, I'm not saying we're just regular guys. You know, we are just two regular middle-aged men.
Yeah, this is not my job. Like, I do this for fun. The minute this stops being fun, I stop doing this.
Right, exactly.
And we've had conversations, you know, we both have an out clause. This isn't fun anymore. Okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Right.
But it is still fun, which is why you should like and subscribe.
Right. No, I'm very much
because it is still fun.
It is still fun.
We're having a blast.
A great time.
And, you know, the better the channel does, the more content that comes.
Right.
And the more freedom it gives us.
Well, right.
And that's not a surprise to anyone, but very few people in the whiskey tube. The top 0.1%, yes, are, you know, lucrative. They're not. It's not. It's ridiculous.
At some level, I sort of.
Sorry, Sherry dropped a comment. She's like, John, you are not regular.
I think that at some level, I sort of reject the notion that your hobby, by definition, must make you money.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't think that's what a hobby is about. Right? Like, I've never thought that's what a hobby is about.
Right.
Your hobby's about enjoyment, enjoying the people that it brings you in contact with. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
And,
but
we've made so many connections through the 717 Bourbon Society, PA Bourbon School, and now you, John, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
It's about the community. Well, you need a bottle, I got you. You need a sample, I got you.
This is not unique to the world of whiskey.
It's not.
No.
I think
it's not.
No matter what you do, you are doing it because it keeps you in contact with people who you enjoy the company of, right? Like your home life, you enjoy because you sort of like that wife you're married to, right? Like that's
one would certainly hope.
That's not a bad thing, right? Like you sort of enjoy the company of your children, right? From time to time, you when you have a job, if you enjoy your job, you enjoy it because of your coworkers. That's got a lot to do with it. Same thing is true with hobbies. It's the people you come in contact with. It's all about people. And I think there's something, and I'm going to get a little philosophical here.
Please do.
I think there's something about whiskey that brings people together.
Yeah.
Agreed.
In a way that maybe it's that we all need to slow down and enjoy the smelling, the tasting, and the finish. We all just need to slow down.
It's the mindfulness and the thoughtfulness that goes into it.
I think there's something about that. I think as a college professor, which is what I do for a living, I see younger generations, and they're all just moving too fast. They need to slow down, and they need to take their life with a nose and a palate and a finish. And so.
Blanking on it. Cody from Bourbon Battalion said the experiences and connections I've had through content creation on TikTok have been amazing, and I completely agree here. Like I did not start where I'm at here, right? I did not start with the ability to monetize. I did not start with the ability to like have a Patreon. Like none of that was like a part of the plan. None of that was I didn't go out and be like, I really want to make money from making videos on the internet, because if that was my goal, I'd have stopped 2.5 years ago.
We're going to buy whiskey.
Right.
Like, this is not a surprise to anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So my philosophy was, this is going to be fun. I'm going to keep doing it. And if it goes somewhere, great. But that's not, like, I'm not planning for that. Like, I do get sent media samples every once in a while, which is, honestly, it's a cool feeling. But it also has, like, a little bit of, like you have to really think about it. You have to think about, like, being honest, like, because you have a journalistic integrity to the people who are watching you, like, that you are making content on this. And I just recently actually I did a video for the guys from Liberty Pole Spirits, and some of it I liked, some of it I didn't. So it's I'm excited to see where you guys go, because I think you guys have a lot of plans and a lot of execution, and you have great banter.
Yep.
So if you in the comments are not subscribed to Trent and Troy, you should do so.
Bourbon Brother Whiskey Nerds on YouTube. We're real easy to find, folks.
Yeah, we're not that hard.
And their link is in the description also.
Yep.
So
that makes it easy too. And if you're Bourbon Brother Whiskey Nerds subscribers and stumbled on this, kick on over to Gentlemen in Whiskey.
Oh, absolutely.
And
you definitely need to subscribe to John. Absolutely. Without a doubt.
He's definitely doing some good things, and he was kind enough to have us on, and we certainly
a true gentleman of whiskey is John. Right?
I do my best, man.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Now, did that come from somewhere, John? Gentlemen in Whiskey? Did it come from anywhere?
Yeah, so it came from the tasting group. The tasting group, we were trying to find like a name that we wanted to be, and then it was like Gentlemen in Whiskey, and then my buddy and I ended up like, we made a couple reveal videos for upcoming tastings, and then we're like, we want to sit down and actually make videos. So if you watch our very, very first video of all time from back in 2021, it is rough with a capital R. But over the years, I've learned some stuff, and
I look back at our first video, and it was rough.
Yeah.
And just
well,
so
you get better.
You just get better at it.
Well, right, and you get. I mean, it's true with whiskey tasting too. You get better at it.
So true.
Right?
All right, what's your next video?
Oh gosh. Well, what did I just put up? It's a What You Drinking Wednesday, I think. I forget what it is. Is it? It might be. Well, if it's not, I'm gonna make it. Bullet Bottle and Bond.
Okay, yeah, I did see that one. That one's live now, so go check them out.
Well, strike that. That's a good one. I can't remember what's coming up next. But off the top of my head, there is a short that's going to go live tomorrow, which I think is actually talking about Middle West spirits.
Nice.
Dark Comfort that Trent did. So the short's coming out. I don't know what's on tap this week. Probably because I haven't uploaded it yet. So, but we'll do a What You Drinking Wednesday, as we usually do. Well, we'll spin the Only Drams wheel, and we legitimately spin the Only Drams pick my four, and what it puts out, we taste and we try. Unless it happens to be something we've just reviewed. So, and there'll be a Fresh Track Friday coming up, unless we get into something later this week. You never know.
It's possible.
So it's entirely
possible. We'll see.
So, but that's what's coming out, and I think summertime Trent City's college professor. He's got a bit more free time, so there might be some hunt videos.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. We really want to do a hunt video.
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll see if that happens. What we're looking for, what we don't have, what we want, what we're after.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think we were just talking about this. Like, our buying habits have shifted a little bit. I was just telling Trent tonight, 50 of these bottles behind me will be dry and not replaced. I mean, it's just
for sure.
True. And we're willing to be more selective, to find what we want, to find the things that we like, that we want to share, that we want to taste. So it's less about, obtaining bottles for bottles' sake. It's more about obtaining bottles that we want to try, that we want to taste, that are unique, and that are intricate and interesting.
It's interesting when you have a channel.
Well, your mindset shifts.
You think about the channel, right?
Yep.
I'm
you
not
think
sure
about what would be good
bad.
content, and you buy stuff like that. Yep.
True. Right.
And, I think we said this on a video not too long ago. Trent and I are not pulling out BTAC every night and drinking it.
No.
Trent and I are, a couple times a week drinking, he had early times the other night.
Right, because it's freaking good.
For a BH Taylor, because there is so much whiskey on the market that you do not have to spend a lot of money for. That is incredible.
The most expensive bottle that I gave you tonight, I paid $90 for.
Yeah. Yep. And they were all delicious and wonderful.
So yep.
Without a doubt.
Yep. So, but thank you so much, John. Always appreciate it. We'll have John on the Bourbon Brothers Whiskey Nerds as an honorary nerd.
We'll have something coming up with John here.
I want to come sit in front of your whiskey shelf there.
And the shelf,
you are welcome anytime, my friend. Yes,
the top shelf is behind me. So, all the good stuff is there. So,
but thanks again, John. Really
appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks for being a part of this, guys. Being the inaugural guests on my summer series. So
we were the first.
You were the first.
I feel honored.
Nobody can take that away.
No one can take that away. So, in all seriousness, John, we really appreciate it, and make sure you like and subscribe. Bourbon Brothers Whiskey Nerds. BBWN37@gmail.com.
Thanks so much, John.
Absolutely. Hey, have a good night, guys. I'm going to get to my giveaway.
See you later.
Catch you later.
We're going to mute and turn off video.
Perfect. All right, folks. That was the Bourbon Brothers Whiskey Nerds, Troy and Trent. Thank you to them for coming and being a part of this. Super glad to have them be my first guests. And if you did not catch earlier, I will have I have no guests for the 22nd. I'm skipping the 15th, obviously, because of Father's Day. But the 29th, we are back with the 717 Bourbon Society. I know I've at least got Brian Einecker and Dave Warmingham as part of this. They were both actually as commenting on what we were doing here. I think they were just trying to see what they were in for tonight. So we've got them. We've got the Bourbon Besties on the 6th of July. Then we've got the Only Drams guys. We've got Colin and Trenton from Only Drams on the 13th. Then I've got Cody Harsumchuk on the 20th. And I think that's the extent of what I've got. July is going to be Jewel Rye for the channel. And then August is going to be Scotch Month. So I know some of you are going to hate that, but we're gentlemen of whiskey, not gentlemen of bourbon. So it's going to be a fun time if you are at all interested in Scotch. If you're not, follow to see me make a butt of myself. But speaking of butts, we've got a wheel tonight. That doesn't look right. That looks better. For all of the people who have done a super chat or are a part of our YouTube memberships or our Patreon, if you join our Patreon or you join our YouTube memberships, you automatically get an entry into anything that we're giving away. And what we are giving away tonight is samples of these, everything that Trent and Troy tasted tonight. This one is especially good, and you can definitely never get this again because it is a 2023. So that's pretty fun. And then we're going to do another giveaway for a Gentleman of Whiskey merch pack, including a Glen and a hat. So if you win, please email me, and I will get that out to you. I will also include two things that you can get absolutely nowhere else, and that is two stickers of the Santa Glen that I have designed here. The Summer Vibes, there's a sticker of that, and then there's a sticker of just Santa Glen himself. So that is going to be something that it is just going to Patreon Sticker Club members and to whoever wins this. So let's spin. The first one will be for the pours from tonight, which are craft themed, all of them. And that is going to be going to the Bourbon Besties. So we will remove one of theirs because they have a Patreon entry, but also gave us a super chat as well. So then we are going for the merch, and the merch wheel is spinning. And that is going to Justin Arell. So Justin, congratulations. He is one of our members here on YouTube. We are super glad to have him. So if you want to be entered into stuff like this in the future, the links for Patreon and joining here on YouTube are in the description. Chris Big Stick, let me get Twidget up here. Said pours for the win. He is a part of the Bourbon Besties, and he will be on the 6th. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna give him the absolute stupidest blind he's ever had in his life. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Definitely subscribe to the Bourbon Brothers Whiskey Nerds if you haven't already. It costs you $0. And as I learned early on in my YouTube journey, one of the coolest things is having people subscribe. So it costs you nothing. Go ahead and do it. If you have not subscribed to me for whatever reason, you can like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Check out our other videos. This week we've got a Kings County video coming, and we've got Liberty Pole Spirits. So we're back to 2 videos, 2 full-length videos, and 2 shorts a week. So Kings County, bourbon and peated bourbon on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, we've got Liberty Pole, the wheated bourbon, the rye, the old Monongahela rye, and the peated rye. So stay tuned for those if you like this content. Check out our other videos. Please like and comment on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And we hope you'll join us in drinking like a gentleman. Cheers.